Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Normalisa. I'm from the Reguler PBI class in Banjarmasin. Today I will explain about three research design. The first is survey research design, correlational research, and ex post facto. The first, survey, non-experimental research design. Survey research is defined as the process of conducting research using survey data research sent to survey respondents. The data collected from survey is then statistically analyzed to draw meaningful research conclusions. The traditional definition of survey research is a quantitative method for collecting information from a full-up response by asking multiple survey questions. This research type including the recruitment of individual, collection, and analysis of data. It's useful for research who aim at communicating new feature or trend to their response. Surveys are used as a method of gathering data in many different files. They are a good choice when you want to find out about the characteristic, preference, opinion, or belief of a group of people. Common use of survey research includes social research, investigating the experience and characteristic of different social groups, market research, finding out what customers think about product, service, and companies. Health research, collecting data from patients about symptoms and treatment. Health research, politics, measuring public opinion about parties and policies. And then education research, drive continual improvement across any number of educational. Survey research method can be derived based on two critical factors: survey research tool and time involved to conduct research. Further, based on the time taken, survey research can be classified into two methods. One, longitudinal survey research. Longitudinal survey research involves conducting survey research over a continuum of time and spread across years and decades. The data collected using the survey research method from one time period to another is qualitative or quantitative. And two, cross-sectional survey research. The opposite of a longitudinal study is a cross-sectional study, while longitudinal studies repeatedly observe the same participant over a period of time. Cross-sectional studies examine different samples or a cross-section of the population at one point in time. Survey research means collecting information about a group of people by asking them questions and analyzing the result. The sample size depends on how big the population is. You can use an online sample calculator to work out how many responses you need. There are many sampling methods that allow you to generalize to broad population. In general, though, the sample should aim to be representative of the population as a whole. And this step 3, decide the survey question. The content of the survey question. To ensure the validity and reliability of your result, you need to carefully consider each question in the survey. Finally, when you have collected and analyzed all the necessary data, you will write it as a part of your thesis, dissertation, or research paper. And in the discussion and conclusion, you give your explanation and interpretation of This result ensure your research question and reflect on the implication and limitation of the research. Next, non-experimental correlational. Non-experimental research is usually descriptive or correlational, which means that you are either describing a situation or phenomenon simply as it stands, or you are describing a relationship between two or more variables, all without any interference from the research. This means that you do not manipulate any variable or randomly assign participant to a control or treatment group. Without this level of control, you cannot determine any causal effect, while validity is still a concern in non-experimental research. The concerns are more about the validity of the measurement rather than the validity of the effect. Correct rational research is a type of research that tries to investigate, find possible relationship between variables without any attempt to influence this variable. Correct rational research does not determine the causes of the relationship between variables, but can only suggest two causes. Essentially, there are three types character of correctional research, which are positive correctional research, negative correctional research, and no correlational research. Step in correctional research: problem determination, literature study, research methodology, and data collection, data analysis, and conclusion. Strength and weakness. Some advantages of non-experimental research are it is very flexible during the research process, the cause of the phenomenon is known, and the effect it has is investigated. The research can define the characteristic of the study group. Among the disadvantages of non-experimental research are: the group are not representative of the entire population, error in the methodology might occur, leading to biases. And conclusion, it can therefore be concluded that the ex post facto research holds a very good position in the field of behavioral science, although it is a very significant method, yet it has certain limitations as well. This again marks a question on the validity of the finding of the research. Equally, the research cannot randomly assign the subject into group and has not control over the variable. And the last, ex post facto concept and meaning of ex post facto. Ex post facto research is a method that is widely used and useful for research because it provides a lot of valuable information for decision making in the field of education. Characteristic of ex post facto research. Based on the concept of the ex post facto research, it is also known as causal comparative research. The ex post facto research has certain characteristics which distinguish it from other different types of research. In other words, compared to experimental research, the thing being equal ex post facto research, tax control. This tech is a basis for the three weaknesses. The risk of improper interpretation, therefore committing unequivocally to experimentation or to ex post facto research might be for policy. Ex post facto research might not have particular hypotheses as a predicted relationship might be quite spurious. Step of ex post factor research. One, determining the problem in ex post factor research. It is necessary for the researcher to focus on the problem that he or she needs to study. Two, literature review. Before trying to predict the causal relationship, the researchers need to study all the relate or similar literature and relevant studies, which might help in further analysis, prediction, and conclusion of the causal relationship between the variables under study. 3. Formulation of hypotheses. The third step of the ex post factor research is to propose the possible solution or alternative that might have led to the effect. The strength of ex post facto research agreed relevant to social and behavioral sciences who are generally restricted from being able to manipulate variables. This research method has an advantage over experimental research because it can be useful to analyze a cause on the basis of an effect that is being studied. The weakness of X factor. Here are some weakness of the post factor research in generally, namely lack of control over the independent variable. It is difficult to ascertain whether causal factors have been included and identified. No single factor causes an effect, but several combination and interaction of factors go together under certain conditions to produce a certain effect. A phenomenon might not only result for many causes, but also from one cause in one respect and from another. So that I will explain about 3 research design. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.